Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today we have an interesting puzzle in front of us. Now this one is called Lost in the Jungle 2 Arrow-Kropki. I went back and looked what the Lost in the Jungle 1 was. It was a similar concept, but instead of using arrows, using killer cages. And it's from a while back, so I figure I'll do the more recent one, which is this one. It's by SpecialSudoku, which I don't think I've done a puzzle by before, so that's always good. But let's look at this one. It's not supposed to be real difficult. It's supposed to be kind of concepts of interactions of things and that sort of thing in a friendly way to get things going. So that's the concept, at least from what it said on the site. So with that said, let's look at these rules and see what we got going on and see if we can figure out how to do this thing. So normal Sudoku. So every row, every column, and every 3x3 box will contain the digits 1 through 9 once each. Then digits on an arrow sum to the digit in the attached bulb. So find any of these arrows. Let's look at this one. These 3 digits, whatever they add to, is going to be what goes in the bulb. And then digits separated by a black dot or 2-to-1 ratio. These are Kropkis. So these 2 here will be in a 2-to-1 ratio, or one of them will be double the other. And that's it. So a minimal rule set, but there's obviously going to be a lot of interaction occurring between the rule sets. So with that said, let's just get into this thing, see if we can figure it out, and let's have some fun. Links in the description below. So let's start thinking my normal track. All of the arrows that have at least 3 unique digits, which I think is just these 3, are going to at least be 6s. Let's start there. Now, let's look at this guy next. Because there's going to be some reduction to this. Well, it's not going to be great though, is it? Really the only thing we can take out of this is it can't be a 4, 8. Because that would obviously add to 12. We can't put 12 in a circle. But anything else will work. And we're going to know that these are the same digits. So maybe, do we want to get into a little bit of coloring exercise? I'm not sure if that's going to necessarily help us, but it could. It just means that one of these is whatever that digit is. And that, well, we can rule out a 1, 2 here. Yeah. Because it would force... Well, no, we can't. Sorry. I was thinking about this guy. We're not saying it's this guy. We're saying it's one of these 3. If we did one... Yeah, the 1, 2 pair could just go down here. No, that wouldn't even be... What am I talking about? Brain, start working, please. Reboot. Reboot. Let's think about conjunctions between these 2, or interactions. This can't be a 6, for the reasons that we stated here. Because if it is, it's a 1, 2, 3. And what do you put here? You would have to put a 4, 8, which we can't. This is not 6. Now it could be a 7, because this could be 1, 2, 4. That would force this to be a 3, 6. And that would create a 9. Once we start getting into 8s and 9s, we start getting options, though. Well, I guess what we can say is there is a 1 on here. Because the only way you can't put a 1 is this is a 9, this is a 2, 3, 4. But then we have a major issue here where we can't put anything. So there is a 1. Which means this is not a 1, 2 pair. Yay. I was going to think if we could remove 1s from here and push it here, but I don't think we can. Because if we put a 1 up here, that forces this to be a 2, 3, 4, which means this is a 9. but this could be 1, 2, or can it? Let's think about that. Can these be a 1 and this not be? It would force 2, 3, 4. And we would have to have 1, 2, 5 as a minimum. That would work. This would be a 1, 5. This would be 8. But that doesn't work. We take it the full direction, because then that forces this to be, again, a 3, 6, because we can't use 1, 2, or 8, which forces this to be 9, but we said this one has to be 9. Okay, so that does give us something. This has to be the 1. Ooh, get away. What else does that say for us? Can we continue to think about how these things interact? Because if this is a 1, 2, 4, let's say, that is 7. This would have to be a 1, 3, 5, which is 9. If it's 1, yeah, same thing occurs. This becomes 9. This has 1, 2, and 4 on it, so this has to be a 3, 6, and this has to be a 9, so this is not 7. 1, 2, 4 creates a 1, 3, 5, which is 9. Okay, that's kind of an interesting grouping there. Now, can we go any further with it? Because if this was an 8, let's say, this could be 1, 2, 5. That would, well, we might be able to keep going through these. Let's just kind of put them in and go through the path. If this was an 8, one of the options is 1, 2, 5. That would force this to at least be 3, 4. In fact, it would have to be 3, 4. And that breaks because we have 8 and 8. We can't put 2 8s. We can't change this because we've used 1 and 2 and 5. So if we were to up it any, we'd be at 3, 6, which makes this 10. So the 1, 2, 5 option doesn't work. What about the 1, 3, 4? Does it do the same thing? I think it does. Because 1, 3, 4 gets us to 8. That's the other way to do it. No, that could work. Because we can't do 2, 5, because we'd be at 8, 8. But we could be 2, 6. This would be 8. This would be 9. But let's continue the thought into this. There's nothing that would work on this dot now, because we've used 1, 4, and 3. So we can't make 1, 2, we can't make 2, 4, we can't make 4, 8, we can't make 3, 6. So this doesn't work. So it's not 8. This is just 9. This is not. Okay, now let's think about going the other way. One of these is going to be whittled down, I'm sure of it. So if this is 6, this is 1, 2, 3. That doesn't work, because this would have to be 1, 4, 5. So no 6. If it's 7, it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 4. It could be that in theory, and this could be 1, 3, 5. This then would have to be 2, 4. Because again, we can't go to 4, 8. We've lost the ability to do 3, 6, and we don't have a 1. So it would be a 2, 4 with a 6 and a 6. That would work. Okay, so 7 is possible. Can we rule out 8 in any way? Because we're going to have multiple options again with the 8s. So it's either 2, 5, which would force this to not work. Yeah, it's the same looking back the other way. This can't be 2, 5, because then this is 3, 4, which doesn't work. You can't get the 9, or it's 3, 6, which is too high. Again, the other option would be 3, 4, which gives I think that breaks this one, doesn't it? Let's go through it though. If it was 3, 4, we would have to do 2, 6. And this does break, because we'd have to put a 4, 8 here. Okay. That's interesting how that all... So this is 7. Therefore, this is 2, 4. This then, we said, had to be 3, 5. This then has to be 2, 4. Because we can't go to 4, 8. We can't do 1, 2, or 3, 6. That forces both of these to be 6s. Okay, there we go. We definitely had to go down the option groupings there for this one to get that to work, but we got there. We just had to kind of think through it all. Anyway, let's see what we've got left over now. So we need 6, 7, and 8 here. Sorry, 6, 7, and 8. This can't be 7 or 8, so it's 6. Therefore, these have to be a 1, 2 pair to get a 9. This can't be 9. Good. What about you? Can't be 1, 2. Could it be 2, 4? If it was, this one obviously isn't the 2. That would force this to be a 1, 3. I don't see a problem there. It could also be a 4, 8. Oh no, it can't be an 8. Yeah, it just has to be 2, 4. Okay. It's plainer than day here, seeing it, looking at these digits in comparison to this instead of thinking about how it would work out. Because we can't do 1, 2 because of this 1, 2 pair. We could do 2, 4. We can't do 3, 6, and we can't do 4, 8. Yes, it's a 2, 4 pair. So 2, 4. This becomes a 1, 3 pair. This is 1. This is 2. Good. The 4 says this is 2 and 4. Great. We're getting somewhere now. Can we do anything with this digit, or do we need to start looking at some of these other Kropkis? We can look at this Kropki. Can't be 1, 2, can't be 2, 4, can't be 3, 6. It is 4, 8. That gives us 7 and 8. Good. What about you now? Because we have a bunch of digits looking. This one can't be 8, by the way. This is going to be from 1, 2, 3, or 4. We'll put that in. We know there's a 1 in one of these, and it can't be this one, because if this is a 1, this is a 2, but we also have to put a 2 on the line. Okay, let's think about this, and then we'll come back to this grouping. Yeah, because I think there's multiple ways this could work. Anyway, 3, 4, 6, 8, just putting in there to do it. Not 2, 8, not 1, 2, or 4. This can't ever be a 1. This can't ever be a 6, so this can't be a 3. Or 6, 3, yeah. There are options still available. It could be 3, 6, or 4, 8. Okay. What else can we look at? Do we need to kind of go around the horn here? Like, what can you be? Obviously can't be 1, 2, 3, or 4. It could be 5, 6, can't be 7, can't be 9. So it's 5, 6, or 8. I don't think we can, oh, we can reduce, can't be 5. We can't do 4, 1, or 2, 3. And no, we could do, no, we can't do 6 because we can't do the 2, 4. Oh no, we can do 1, 5. And there's no restriction. Wherever the 1 goes over here. Okay, so it could be 1, 5 to make 6. What about the 8? Because it can't be 7, 1. It can't be 6, 2. But it could be 5, 3. So there is a 5 on this thing. It's either 1, 5 or 3, 5. Huh. It's curious, but I don't think it really does much for us there. What about some Sudoku, maybe? One of these is a 9. Is there anything? One of these is a 7. We know the 2 goes over there. No, there's nothing else really looking into that. Okay. We might need to move on to some other clues. Let's think about you, I guess. And then if we can't find something there, we'll circle back. Can't be 1, 2. Could be 2, 4. Or 4, 8. Can't be 3, 6. This can't be a 2. So this is either 4 or 8. I don't think that's going to get us much. Because this could be 1, 3. Could be 1, 7. 6, 2. There's multiple ways that could work. So maybe think about you, because we have these digits. What's the minimum? 3, 5. So this, okay, there it is. This is 8. This is a 3, 5. Because we can't go to 9. And the bare minimum again is 3, 5. So there we go. Cool. So what are these 3? Because maybe that'll correlate back into one of these other ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7s, 8s, and 9s. This is not 9. It could still be 8, though. Whatever it is, this is 9. So that's a given. Therefore, this isn't, and this is. This is either 1 or 2 to get from there to 9. This is a 9 by Sudoku. Let's look through those 9s then. No, we've got X-wings there. The 8s, not quite. What about the 6s? Yeah, the 6s, there we go, okay. Again, we just had to shift gears there a little bit. But I think that's kind of the end of... Well, maybe not, because one of these is 6. Yeah, we can use that a little bit. This can't be a 3. So one of these is the 1. And we have a 2, 4 pair. What about you, then? We know we can't put a 1 on this thing. Okay, so this just is a 2, 4 pair. Therefore, okay. There we go. This is 1 and 3. So this is 6. This is 2 and 4. This is 2 and 4. Again, just had to look at the right spot. Did that do anything else? 8s, 2s, 4s. This is a 6, 7 pair, which forces a 5. That forces 3 and 5. That 3 now is going to unwind this. Good. This is 4 and 8. Let's get rid of that stuff. The 3 is also going to give us the 1 and 3. 2, 6, 7s. Okay, just checking to see if any of these things hit any of our markers. They don't seem to. We're probably going to have to get into these guys. Yeah, this can't be a 4 anymore because we can't put the 1, 3. So this is 8. Therefore, this is 4, 7, 8. Beautiful. Now, can we determine what the 8 is? Not really. It could be 7, 1 or 6, 2. It just can't be the 5, 3. Okay. Let's take a look at U, and then if nothing pops on that, we will go to Sudoku. What can this be? Can't be 3, because we can't put a 1, 2. Can't be 4. Could it be a 5? It cannot be a 5, because we can't put a 1, 4 because of this, and we can't put a 2, 3. So it's not 5. It's not 6. It's not 9, so it's either 7 or 8. What are these 2 digits? Let's do it that way. 1, 2, and 4. This is not 2. This is not 2 or 4, it's 1. There we go. So this is 4, 2. Therefore, this has to be 7, and this is 3. That is working better than I thought it might. That 4 now gives us the 8 and the 4. We should be able to start plugging in some of these digits. We need a 1, so it goes here. What else do we need in here? 5 and 8. This is 5. This is 8. This is a given digit of 3. Yes. What are these two? 5 and 7. We can do that with 5, 7. That 5 says this is not a 5. This is a given 7. That isn't, but we'll come back to that. What are these two? 5 and 9. We can do that. 5, 9. And what are you? 3. We need 1, 2, and 3. 3 has to go here. 1 has to go here. The 2 has to go here. Go away. This is not 1 or 7 now. This is not 2. 7, 1, and 2. Oh, wait, this can't be 1. So this is a 6, 2. So 6 here, 2 here. That gives us 7 and 6. This becomes 3 and 5. That becomes 1 and 3. That pushes an 8 and a 6. What are you two? 5 and 9. We can do that as well. And I think we're pretty much through. This is just now putting the last few digits together. What are you? 7 and 8. We can do that. 7, 8, and 6, 9. This is 9. This is 6. Perfect. We got 2 givens over here. This is a 4. This is a 9. These are what? 1 and 7. We can do that. Good. Now we can probably figure one of these two out and it should do the rest of it. We need a 1 in this column. Can't go here, so we'll put it here. This has to be 5. That gives us the 3, 5. And now we're just putting these last 2 in. This is 3, and this is 2. There we go. Thank you for solving my puzzle. You are amazing. Why, thank you. Well, thank you for making the puzzle. It was very good. I really enjoyed that one. 228 solves in 6 days. Not bad. Good puzzle. Really enjoyed that one. I can talk. There certainly was a lot of good logic going into this one and how to get into it. Because we had to take a fairly logical path. Now, there was definitely some thoughts about what possibilities could occur that we had to get through. But once we did that, things kind of smoothed out and went quite well. So, very good puzzle. Really enjoyed that one. Well, I guess that's it then. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks a lot.